Good morning, all of you. Uh, Today, in case study, we will see a new series, a series about body language. There are various things about body language, just not one, two, three. There are many. One of the simplest aspect a human being can do is just to sit down, isn't it? So, when we say to sit down, how to sit? Everybody sits. But how to keep it professional, how to sit in an interview, that is what we are going to see today. Now, when we say body language, we are mentioning about a non-verbal communication. So, if you see the mistakes that has been done during a job interview, this clearly shows eye contact is one big thing, and the facial expression and bad body posture. These are not different things. Your body, the way you sit, doesn't just mean how you adjust yourself in the seat. The way you look, where you keep your head, where you keep your hand, where you keep your legs, the way you are dressed, everything matters. That is how it is. So many people attend multiple interviews and still they are not able to get a job. End of the day. When we attend an interview and when we go until the HR person, we clearly know what it is to win the technical side of the interview, which means we have passed all the exams, we have done everything, we have done this MCQ, but still we fail. That is not an acceptable thing, isn't it? When we fail. Sometimes we fail knowing the reason. Sometimes people attend the HR interview, they failed it, and most of the times they are not clearly given explanation why they are rejected. This makes people to get into a kind of a depression. A problem arises within them. Initially they will attend it at the whim, and now when they get rejected in the last level of interview, this creates certain level of depression within the youngsters. Because we can't really force people to give a reason why it has been done. One major thing about HR interview is your attitude and your commitment, your dedication towards the company, your status pro with the company. So we saw the non-verbal mistakes. So we will start with a very basic thing, how to sit or how to keep the body language. To say brief about body languages, people are asking how to keep your body language, how to keep their body language. There is nothing like how you keep your body language. How you are is expressed in your body language. The way you sit right now, if when you're hearing me, the way you are sitting, that is the kind of emotion you have. Are you sitting inside the chair, or are you sitting just bending down, or are you just putting your head down, or are you putting your ear close to your earphone and doing something, or you're still surfing somewhere else, looking around? What are you doing right now? Very focused? Listening to me? Thank you. Actually, that is you. It's not your body can be shaped up in some way. It can be, but actually it is a mind and energy which is getting established. If you want to see an excellent body language, you'll see it in a sportsman when he wins. Have you seen a batsman getting century after century in a series, and the way he walks and speaks and he gets near this microphone to get this man of the match award or man of the series award? Have you seen them? They just glitter and glow. If the same batsman or a captain have two ducks or two consecutive series failures, the very same person, just look at them, how pathetic sometimes they are. Not all of them, but many of them. So if you want to do something very basically to your body language, you should work out. There can be no two ways of looking at it. You should work out. In what level, that's up to you, but you should. Without having a healthy body language is not something you should look for. One different thing that I, as a teacher, personally see is being a successful student and being a successful employee, being a successful entrepreneur, being a successful teacher is a very different thing, because you can sit in whatever way you want and you can still finish a project and exam, but it is not possible when you go to a company. You need to finish the work in tune with people around you, your customers, your co-workers. That is one reason I find some top students fail in their professional life. Maybe not completely, but definitely they don't even score 20% of what they are in the college, because this is a combined work. We need to look around. It is like driving in the traffic. You may not drive well, but you drive left in India, not right, because that's the rule. You better follow that. So when we say how to sit, sitting in a chair. So normally if you go to a group discussion, it's different. Now we will speak about the personal interview first and then go with the GD. If you see a single chair to sit down, that's a very different thing. If you see 8 chairs, 10 chairs, then you better understand your interview have already started, because if you're going to sit in this 9th chair, 8th chair, or you can put it like this: you keep the center chair and keep 5 chairs, 4 chairs here, 4 chairs there. If you're going to go to that end or this end, it means you're trying to avoid the question. The way you sit matters a lot. If you're going to take this chair which is going to be really central, it's going to mean something for all of us. So that is something. In a group discussion, it's a very different thing, because we have a group means a circular chair arrangement. When you sit with your friends, when you want to tag along with your new friends that you found in the lobby, it means you're just trying to take some comfortable position. That is not which is suggestible. So always make sure you sit. Again, when the chairs are circular, there is no 1 and 2, but make sure you do not tag along with anybody in the lobby and find another lobby there. You should be comfortable wherever you get a seat and take the first seats available. There may be women sitting near you or a man. It should not be a difference. Professional courtesy is professional, that's it. Now comes the IT culture, the video game culture, the PUBG culture, where you sit in various postures, of course, the cinemas, cricket, whatever. You should sit straight. You can see these women having different sitting posture. I think we have marked 3 of them wrong, 1 of them right. If you look at the 3 and 4, there's a minor difference in their neck and backrest. I don't want you to follow this very strictly, but ideal thing will be when you have a chair to sit, you make sure you sit in a chair. Maybe you can rest yourself 25%, the max. Or you can just sit straight, but make sure you don't struggle, okay? You can lean a bit, 10 degrees, but if you are sitting in a room and if you are really not able to speak, if you are not audible and you bend down, move forward to speak, that's not right. There is nothing wrong with the person's hearing sense. It is just you who is not speaking well. So make sure you speak well. It's not a cinema theater, and you know that. So I don't want to go into this stuff, but still there is certain level of student who tend to take relaxed posture from laziness. You see, if there is one thing these interviewers do not want in their life, they do not want to spend their time with a fellow who is not sincere with his job. That is why all this grooming is done. If you can't do that, if you can't be too sincere with what you do, there is no way, there is absolutely no way you will be able to do this. Right from the way you dress, how your resume is filled, everything should make sure that you really want the job. You should be a bit desperate, a bit desperate. Otherwise, the companies will not take this decision of hiring you because they are very sincere with you. If you're wearing a very tight outfit, imagine, can you sit properly? Or if you're wearing something too loose, silky, no, right the right size, go in the right way. Do not carry anything else in your pocket because a handkerchief is okay. If you have a mobile phone, better leave it outside or in your bag, of course, switched off. Because those things look awkward when you put them in your pocket. I won't suggest anything more than a handkerchief in your trouser pocket and more than a pen in your shirt. That's enough. You can have a file in your hand, make sure it's a neat file and you know where your things are inside the file. Hands-on training, have you heard about it? This is it. If you look at these different postures that we have given there, most of this posture go 50-50 with your face and your hand. It should be hand in hand. One important thing with this post-corona era is the importance of keeping your hand clean, which means not just you, but please don't fold your hand unless you are asked to do it for some corona or some other medical reason. Do not do that. Do not fold your hand. It means you are defensive and you are confused or you are trying to actually cover up something. So don't do that. Sit straight. Keep your hand relaxed on your thighs. That's it. Don't hold your knees, okay? If some people have this, they keep on playing with their hair or their mustache or a beard. Don't do that any day in your life. Definitely not in your interview. With your hand. I don't think you'll do it with the legs, so with your hand. Other than that, there are two ways of looking at it. When you keep your hands on the table, sometimes when you're giving a demo of writing down something or typing something, that's a very different thing. You need to keep your hands on it. Otherwise, do not place the hands on the table because I've seen people getting too relaxed and carried away when they do that. So, ideal posture, I don't want to use this word ideal, but still I'm using, can be one hand on your lap, one on your file. Or you can keep your file down and keep both the hands in the lap. If you keep it like that, only when you speak your hands may go up. It completely varies from one person to the other person. If you have seen Osho's lectures, you can see the way his hands are. But not everybody is him and he never attended a job interview. So let's make sure about it. Don't put your hand in those ways, but you can show your palm when you explain something. If it comes naturally to you, you can go with the flow. I've seen people very beautifully explaining things with the hands. I've also seen people keeping it stiff also. So to explain it, I will leave it to you. From hand to leg. Please have a look at this pictures that we have put there, both the pictures. Before speaking about movement of your leg, that is one thing I wish to speak. The posture of the leg. Please don't shake your leg or hands unnecessarily or don't shake them. If you're watching a cricket match, if you're really involved in this cricket match, have you seen this? You'll just sit like that, even without knowing what is next. If the match is boring, you can see the ground. People will be moving their hands, they will be moving their water bottles, they'll be moving their legs, they'll be moving their hats. This reckless body movement simply means that you're not interested. So when you do that, as we said earlier, it will prove that you are not interested. So if you look at this fellow with this blue shirt, if you look at his leg, it's quite ideal. The way he sits is quite ideal with his legs. He's holding something, I'm not getting into that. The girls who are sitting, I leave it to the girls because they have different dressing styles. If you wear a trouser, it is different. If you wear a sari, it is different. If you wear a salwar, it is different. A skirt, it is different. But again, there's a set of people who advocate high heels, some don't, some go with professional shoes. I would say you can sit in a professional way, but professional way, unprofessional ways means one thing is don't keep them crossed. If you keep it crossed, it's too defensive and it shows you're confused. I will again go with this blue shirt guy. For a guy, he is sitting okay. For a woman, I leave it to you, not completely, but you can understand what I am saying. If you're fully suited, you can also sit like this. If you feel your dresses or fleets are not allowing, you can sit accordingly in a straight posture, as straight as possible. This is a better way. If you're wearing an anglet or something which makes sound, please don't wear them. Or if you can't really move it properly, you can take the anglet off for the interview, just for the interview, and then wear it back. Do not rest one foot over the other foot on a shoe. It shows you're some kind of wild guy. Don't do that, guys. Eye contact. That is one contact, isn't it? Most people miss this particular thing. People think something is wrong with their eyes. Nothing is wrong with your eye. It is about your thoughts. Have you seen these fellows who are caught in this traffic junctions without helmet, without license? Have you seen the way they look at the traffic police without license or without helmet when they want to pass? They show all their teeth and this weird look as if the traffic man is a dentist, showing their teeth like that. But when the very same person has every required document, the way he looks at this policeman, you should look at the look, isn't it? That's the difference. Nothing is wrong with the person. This is just the way you are. So when it comes to eye contact, keep it straight. And when you sit for a panel interview, you need not constantly, or even a one-on-one interview, you need not really look at this person with some, eye to eye means straight. You can give a gaze. If there's a panel interview, you can give a gaze, and a crystal clear gaze. And make sure when somebody asks a question, when somebody responds to you, you naturally look at them. That's quite natural. That's okay. But at the same time, you need to make sure you have a look at others also. If you have nervousness, you will break this thing. This is from A to Z, Z to A, from the first person in the panel to the last person. But you need not do it like a robot. You can casually do that. This will come with practice. If you do not know something, how do you handle that? That shows your mettle actually. Still, you look at straight at them, answer it as much as you know. If you don't know, apologize, but make sure you keep your eye contact. Because I've seen many people, good, bright, everything. Moment they miss it, they are just looking at the floor. The answers are definitely not on the floor. So don't look there. That's not the place to look at. Especially when you're not speaking. When they are asking, make sure you maintain it. In group discussion, many people do this mistake. When they speak, they look at everybody. When others speak and they think it is not really important, they don't look at them. Don't do that mistake. You should look at everybody. Swachh Bharat. Really? If you can't keep yourself clean, how can you keep your workspace clean. If you want to avoid unnecessary body language or gestures, bodily gestures, it is very, very important you keep yourself clean. A well built body, a well shaped body, a well cleaned body. You have seen this. If a man who does exercises, even if he just has a bath and just sits with a normal white trousers, he radiates certain amount of energy around ourselves and himself. That's true. One more thing with this corona era, I think not unnecessarily to touch things. I think that part is very clear. I don't want to go into that. But normally I have seen people keep on scratching their noses. This is purely because they have touched something from they're not supposed to touch. That's it. If such a thing happens, of course, sanitizers are there everywhere. Make sure and use them. If you don't get soap, water, everything, sanitizer can do it in the last minute. But please do it sensibly. Don't put it in your eyes, otherwise you can go red-eyed. Your nails are clearly visible when you show your hands. So make sure your nails are cleanly trimmed and clean. Not necessarily you need to go for a pedicure, manicure kind of look. If you want it, you do it. I have nothing against it. But keep yourself clean. That's the most important thing. This creates a different human being that you are. So that freshness don't miss any day in your life. Keep your hair. If you are too colorfully wearing hair, some people are like this side green, this side red, they color it. Not necessary. You keep it in a different way, okay? Keep it simple. When you go for an interview, you're not a hero because of your appearance. Even heroes have different hairstyle in different movies. So right now you're a different kind of hero, so stick to that. Your role is that of a student, an employee, a candidate. So stick to that hair. Make sure the hair is not protruding anywhere. Keep it simple. People have different hair. If you are bald, keep it accordingly. Maybe bald people can do it very simply. They can trim it down. It'll look very nice, believe me. This is something. Whatever applies to you, to some extent, it will mirror in the interviewer also. The interviewer also look in a particular way. He also dresses in a particular way. He also speaks in a particular way. So all these things are always there. If you look at this Mudalman movie, it's a classic example of how this changes. Right from the way he sits, the way he speaks, the way he drinks the water, and look at this body language. We can clearly see, not a dialogue in this picture, but you can clearly see something is not right. Of course, it was not a job interview, it was an interview after doing the job. Kind of a review. I don't want to go into the depth of looking into how to read others' body language, not necessarily your interviewers. This can be applicable for your customers also. We can do a separate series on this. But even if I do a separate series, invariably what I will say is whatever is applicable to you is applicable to them also. But there are some minute things there. Maybe not a fraction of a second or even less than that. What people say, there is also a separate body language of how to say if the person is saying a lie or not, how to say the person is trustworthy or not, how does the police, the investigation agencies, they look at the body language. That can be something for some other day, but definitely that will also happen someday. One more thing is this professional space. I don't think we Indians will have this problem so far because we have a big table in between us, so there won't be a problem. In group discussion, I have seen people rubbing shoulders with each other unknowingly or knowingly because they'll be friends. You can rub your shoulders outside but not inside the panel. Sometimes they'll catch the hand, they'll try to put a point by beating their own thigh, or even worse is somebody else's thigh. Don't do those things, okay? Even if they're your friends. Don't do that. When you explain, one important thing I wish to say is, I have seen this happening. Myself, I have experienced this. Sometimes when 8 or 9 members are on the panel, I have seen people dozing off. When you explain your USP, when people doze off, don't stare them. There are still other 6 or 7 of them. So you keep explaining and you will never know when this doze off fellow will come back alive. And the moment he comes back, when he sees you a bit loose, he will just consider you loose. That's it. You lost a job. So I would say in those areas, you put your full effort, don't back up. All this Vedanta about body language and how to sit, there is no point in listening to me alone. We have the SCD team ready to assist you. Every member in our college is a member of all the 5 pillars. That's a different thing. But if you want to have specialized stuff, people who are always willing to assist you, you need not even spend a day for it. We can spend 10-15 minutes answering one question and asking the feedback from the staff. This can be nice. We can even play it with your friends. But don't take the feedback very seriously with your friends because they may not know. Without practicing these things, this won't happen, because your entire student life, about 90%, we have a different body language when we listen to somebody and when we act upon something. These are different things. When we have a viva or when we have a review, that is when we get a bit close to this interview. So don't miss it. Without practicing whatever I say, it's not going to matter anything to you. Bruce Lee made all those things and you know it better than me. I don't want to go there. That's what made him what he is, isn't it? Thank you, of course. Make sure you sit properly, not with your back bent straight. Thank you, folks. Thank you.